Well, hello, farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. And what a beautiful sunrise coming up over our farm here. We're on My Big Country. And you may say, Moose, I thought you were done with My Big Country. Well, as you can tell this week, I've been gearing up for some mod showcases, and today we are going to be showcasing one that, honestly, I should have done a couple of weeks ago, but I'm just kind of getting sidetracked, and it kept slipping through the cracks. But here it is, guys and gals, the gigantic lettuce greenhouse. And this baby is enormous. I mean, it takes up some property here. Luckily, we had a nice little grassy area here over by the pig farm, and I took out some trees, knocked down the grass, and placed this baby in, and it looks good. So let's check this puppy out in the store and get all the details on it. It is $330,000 to plop it down on the ground. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. It is not cheap. So if you don't have a little income right now disposable, you probably not want to get it. But here it is, $330,000 to plop it. 0 maintenance per day. The greenhouse for salad production. You need seeds, which you can use seed or wheat. I'll get into that in a little bit. I really don't like the idea of using wheat, but I understand why they give you that option. I'll show you in a little bit. Fertilizer and water, plus for power supply there is a generator, and you need a little bit of diesel fuel for it. It's going to produce lettuce for you that drops out, as well as a byproduct. You get lettuce droppings, which produce chaff. And that chaff you can, of course, take and throw into your your silage bunker and make some TMR, or make some silage out of it. My bad. All right, so plopping that baby down. I got to go through it all over again. I'm sorry about that. Backed out of it a little bit too soon. Plopping it down. Here's a trick I have to show you. It is a monster to put down. As you can see, it is pretty huge, and you can see the area in which this encompasses. Now, here's the thing. You have to have a very level surface to put it down on, or you're going to get some clipping, as you can see right there. I've got ground going all through this thing, trying to find a level spot. I thought, well, maybe I could put it over here. Can't do it over here either. I was going to do it way back here in the corner, back where I've got my logging operation going back over here. Yeah, it won't fit back here in this green field either, because nowhere flat. So you do have to have a fairly flat area. Luckily, I found one right here next to the farm and plopped that down. So just keep that in mind when you're getting ready to put it down. You got to have a pretty level area where you want to drop that in. All right, so as we discussed, you've got to have seed, water, liquid fertilizer, and diesel fuel. Now, to load those in, you're going to need a tippable trailer in order to drop that in here. And so I went and picked up these universal trailers, the Kotte, however that's pronounced, universal trailers. The developer of the mod suggests that you get these and use them, and it's pretty straightforward. They're really easy to use, and they're pretty great little trailers anyway. So they are, the link for them is going to be in the notes. You'll find them under slurry tanks, and here they are listed for you. The universal Kotte trailer. It is multicolor, which means you get the old color palette wheel when you purchase one, so you can pick out whatever color you want it to be. There are two different versions. There is the small 24,500 or 22,500 liter version, which is plenty for the greenhouse. And then there is the larger 30,000 liter version, and it comes in both a towable version or a semi version. This being the towable that you can tow with a tractor. This one being you'd have to have a dolly or a semi truck to pull it. Either one of those. And I've gone with the smaller 22,000 version. It's only $45,000 per trailer, $15 a day. As you can see, it'll hold slurry, water, milk, liquid fertilizer, and diesel fuel. So you don't necessarily have to have, you have to have a tippable trailer. That's the key to this. All right, so then you have to have seed. Seed's a whole nother thing. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's go ahead and fire up our tractor, and we will start putting in all the little goodies so we can get this going. So it seems like a pretty expensive operation right off the bat, and I will tell you that. But the profits come pretty quick. It takes, once you get it completely loaded, it takes approximately, it takes just about, I think 2.5 hours of in-game time for it to create a pallet of lettuce that you can take to the sell point. And that pallet of lettuce sells for about $2,000, $2,050. I think I got about $2,040 for the first pallet that I went and sold. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's pretty close to what I got. I was watching the numbers, and I've got so many things that can sell that my best guess is I got about $2,000 for it. I haven't messed with this too much, just enough to get going. So that's a pretty good yield, you know, $2,000 every 2 hours. So, all right, we've got our liquid fertilizer placed in here. So I'll just pull this guy out of the way. And for now, we'll just park it right here and drop it out of the way of everything. Now, your liquid fertilizer and your water is going to take 10,000 liters to fill up the system. Your seed's going to take 10,000 liters to fill up the system. Your diesel fuel, you only need about 200 liters of diesel fuel. It doesn't use much. And as far as consumption, your consumption's pretty normal. It doesn't go through very much. For a fully loaded system with all the water, fertilizer, seed, and diesel fuel, you're going to get about 4, maybe 5 pallets of lettuce out. Here's the trick I found with these trigger points on these water things. It's best to just drive past them a little bit and then back into them. And when you back in, you'll get your trigger point on them. So if you're having a hard time finding the trigger point, pull in perpendicular to them like I am right here. Go past them just a hair and then back up, and you'll hit the trigger point pretty easily. If you're just trying to drive through and hit the trigger point, it doesn't seem to trigger up as well as if you just go past it slightly and then back your trailer in. Alright, so we'll fill up with water, and like I said, 10,000 liters of water, 10,000 liters of liquid fertilizer, 10,000 liters of seed, and then we are going to put in about 200 liters of diesel fuel to get the whole operation up and running. Alright, so we'll drop this trailer right over here. We'll give ourselves a splash of diesel fuel, and then I'll get into the whole speech on seed. Seed's the tricky part to this. It depends on the map you're playing on, how easy this thing is to utilize for you. If you are playing on a map that has a shovelable seed supply, and by that I mean you can pull a front end loader in, get a scoop of seed, and you can put it into a trailer, which you then overload into, and there you see it doesn't take hardly any diesel fuel at all to do this. But like I say, if you're on a map where you can shovel seed into a trailer and then overload that into your seeder, or you can, you know, take a shovel full of seed and put it into your seed machine, your sowing machine, then this isn't going to be any kind of an issue for you to get seed. But you do have to have your seed in a trailer that can tip into the hopper over there. Now, where do you get seed from on a standard map that doesn't have shovelable? That's a challenge for you. And that's the reason they said you can use wheat on this. So if you're on a standard map that doesn't have a bulk supply of seed that you shovel up with a scoop, you can use wheat. You can just go get some wheat out of your silo, dump it in there, and that thing's going to make this thing go. However, I don't really like that idea, so I'm going to show you another option. If you have a trailer that you can use to get seed and then overload that seed into a trailer, then you can do what I'm going to show you now. Remember, I got the, if you remember when I did my greenhouses, I had these two trailers here. These are the Eager Beaver trailers. The one on the right is for fertilizer. The one on the left is a seed trailer. And if I take this seed trailer to my seed station in the farm, I can fill it up. Now right now it's got 8,100 liters of seed on it. So I'm going to go fill it and top it completely off and show you how this works. Now this will not work with a standard maintenance trailer. So if you've got like a frame set that you set down, you pull up next to your seeder and you refill the air off of a trigger point, this probably is not going to work on those. It's not going to work on some of these tow behind trailers that you use, or if you've got a pickup truck that has a little seeder in it and you're able to go and get a seed pallet and just pull up next to it and buy seed from it. That's not going to work. You have to have a refillable overloader type trailer, and that's what this is. So as you see, I'm right here where I would normally get my seed for my sowers, and if I open up, I can actually refill this trailer. It says refill ramps on it, and so if I hit my right bumper, it's going to refill that trailer, and as you can see, the numbers climb up. So now this trailer is actually full of seed, and I can use the overloader function on it to put that seed now into another trailer or something like that. And that's how I can actually get the seed into my Krone Emsland and actually tip seed into the greenhouse. So you have two options here. If you're on a standard map that does not have a bulk seed supply to shovel into a trailer, then you can either go the route of using wheat, or you can get a trailer like this that gives you the option to overload seed into another vessel, and you can use it. So I'm just going to pull it here and park it, and I'm going to select it to do its overloading stuff in just a minute. I'll move it out of the way. I got to go bring the Emsland trailer over. Now you're probably thinking, well, why don't I just go overload straight into the hopper? It won't let me do that, and I wish it would. I've tried, but it doesn't let me do that. I actually have to bring the trailer over, pull up next to this trailer, do the whole overloading feature, and put the seed in there. But I just want to show you how to do this for those of you who may be in a situation like me, who are on a map like this, because I struggled for a while to figure out how am I going to get seed into there. And that's one of the reasons it took me a while to really get into this whole situation, because I knew I was going to have to struggle with how to get seed in. All right, so now that I have that trailer right next to my seed trailer, I can hit the overloader function, and see when I hold down my left bumper, it says start overloading. So if I hit my overload feature, you'll see it's transferring seed now into that trailer. And with that trailer completely full of seed, then I'll be able to take the trailer over and fill up my now I can take this trailer over and fill up my greenhouse. So again, the links for all of this will be in the show description below. And so if you want to find out how to get the Eager Beaver trailers, as well as the Krone Emsland and the Kotte universal trailers, all that will be listed for you. So we'll pull up here, you see my trigger point, and now I'm just going to dump the seed right into that. Again, if you don't feel like going through this option, remember you can get wheat from your silo and just bring over and dump wheat into here, and it might be a whole lot less of a headache to go through just to get this done. So now with everything in there, you see I've got little lettuce popping up, and they are starting to grow, and in 2.5 hours I will have a full pallet of lettuce that has grown that I can take to the sell point and sell. Now Where do you sell this? You take it to your wool sell point and you sell it there. Now, again, I said the wool sell point. So many people will hear that and not understand what I'm talking about. So let me break this down for you real clear, because I ran into this with the lumber mill. The wool sell point is where you would take the wool that comes off of your sheep production and sell it there. So wherever your spinnery is and that has the little sell point that you take the big pallet of wool, that's where you can take these and sell them. And this is what they look like here. And to get the operation up and running, it takes just a couple of minutes in game. If I give this a little nudge here, everything should get up and running for us and start running. It is stowed out for some reason. There it goes. Alright, so now that it's up and running, you can see everything is working really nicely. Let's run inside here and take a look at it. Alright, you can see our sprayers overhead are putting in the water. The lettuce are here in our compost, and they are growing up. And then over here you have your processing unit that is loading the lettuce out, and this is the scrap master, which is taking your scraps and processing that into the chaff for you, which is coming out the back. And so the operation, like I said, it takes about 2.5 hours of in-game play to create a full pallet of lettuce. And like you say, they sit here and they jump into the little boxes for you. And then you just take your forklift or whatever front attachment with pallet forks you have and take those off there. Now, the one thing I will tell you, this is very much like if you watch the video on the Placeable lumber mill. This will shut down when this pallet gets completely full. So you do have to kind of keep an eye on it. So gauge it. Know that it's going to take about 2 hours for this to do, but just keep an eye on it. If you're one of these people who wants to fill it up and get instant gratification by fast forwarding through everything, like so, just know that it's going to take 2 hours in game. So I had a little bit already on here, so it's going to take a little bit less time. But as you can see, the clock ticking away and we're filling up. Now when this gets completely full, the whole operation will shut down and I will have to remove the pallet for the operation to resume itself. Now the resumption takes about 2 minutes in game. So when it stops, you'll take the pallet off. Once the pallet is off, it takes about 2 minutes for the whole thing to restart. So we'll jump into here. As you can see, it's 7:24, and we were there at a little after 6 when we started off. And again, I had 2 rows already on there. So as you can see, you're looking at about 2 hours, 2.5 hours in game time. Now that the pallet is off of there, within 2 minutes, the whole operation will resume. And you can take your pallets, put them on a trailer or whatever, and then you'll take these to your wool sell point and sell them off, which we'll do in just a minute. And that is probably the most confusing thing to so many people is, what am I talking about with the wool sell point? And like I said, if you have sheep and you get those big bales of wool that you have to go sell, the place where you sell the big bales of wool, that is where you're going to sell these. And if I sound like I'm being a little condescending or something, I don't mean to be. I'm just trying to be pretty clear with that, because the number of emails I get are kind of crazy. And so I know people don't quite understand, and I know I do have some folks who are not speaking English as well, and so they might not absolutely understand what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is is where you take your wool from your sheep. That's where you take these to sell them. Now there are some placeable sell points that you can get as well. I didn't want to get into all that because I know you can sell this at the wool sell point. So, yeah. So anyways, so with that going on, and we're at 7:25. We've gone about 1 minute. I'm just going to give this little thing a burp and make it go to 7:26. And this whole operation should fire back up. Come on, fire up. Fire up. Any minute now. 7:27. Okay, that's 2. There we go. And it is back up and running. Alright, so I don't look like a liar. So about 2 minutes is what it takes. So the last thing I want to show you before we take this off and sell it off is the byproduct that comes out of it. Back here on the very back, you have the little scrap master kicking out the scrap, which is your chaff right here. And all you got to do is, if you have a bucket on a front loader that can scoop up chaff, you can come in there and grab it. Or if you have a chaff cutter, bring your chaff cutter in, scoop that out of there, put it into a trailer. I've got one sitting right here just for that. And as it comes out, you can scoop it up. And once you have a full trailer, you can take that and dump it into your silage bunker, compact it, and make you some silage. So that's it, the old lettuce system here for you. And it's pretty nice. Well, like I said, it's a pretty good investment to get. And I mean, you know, you got to buy, if you don't have the trailers already, you got to buy a few trailers. That's going to set you back a pretty penny. You know, all in all, with what I've got invested into it, that's $330,000 plus the 3 trailers. Each of the trailers is $45,000. So for less than $500,000, you're into it. And again, each pallet of lettuce that you produce is going to give you $2,000, and just over a little over $2,000. So I like it, but again, you're going to have to keep an eye on it when you're doing this. You got to keep a little eye on it so you make sure that you don't let it set too long without you taking a look at it. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there with the fruit sitting on there, and you're not going to be doing anything with it. I need to look at how to lock on this trailer. I forget. I haven't used it in such a long time. Load attach. Let's see. It's one of these buttons. Nope, that wasn't it. They kind of look like they're bouncing around. If I dump some lettuce out, I dump some lettuce out. So we're just going to run these down to the sell point. I'm not going to wait to get a full load on here. I'm just going to run these down to where my sell point is. And we can sell these off real quick just to let you guys see it. So I've got 3 full bales on here, or 3 full pallets. That should be about $6,000 when we sell it off. So let's roll on down here into town to where all the party people are, and we'll take them some lettuce, because we know in this day and age everyone likes to eat healthy. So you know, the vegans and the health nuts down here are dying to have some lettuce. So let's not disappoint, right? So we cruise on down. I run over this guy at the intersection because he's always in the way. Yeah, and I head around here to where my wool sell point is. What'd I say I was going to? The wool sell point. Yes. Not the wood sell point. This is the wool sell point, which for me is in this little village here. This would be where I would take what? Wool. That's right. Alright. I'm going to pull in here, and I should be able to just run over this little sell point, and we should hear cha-ching. I'm at 2,369,421. If my numbers are right, we should be about 420,000. Well, no, my numbers are wrong. I only got 75,000 now. So, well, Wait, no, my numbers are right. I was giving 20,000 instead of 2,000 a pallet. So, anyways, so yeah, you got $2,000 per pallet of lettuce for that, roughly right around that number. And so yeah, there you have it. And that's it. That is the lettuce greenhouse. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you learned a little bit about it. The links, like I said, are in the show notes below. So if you want to download it, go ahead, download it, and give it a shot. Unfortunately, I will tell you that 2 of the links are from the worst download site of all, and that would be uploaded.net. So give yourself a little bit of time to get them, because you, of course, have to wait 4 hours in between each download, and be careful not to get a malware or something like that off of that website. I absolutely cannot stand that download site, and I wish the modders would stop using it and would go to using something more like Shared Mods or another site like that. But all I can figure is they get some sort of kickback off of the malware that goes on your computer or something like that. But anyways, that's my little gripe for the day. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. A thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. So if you did enjoy the video, please like it. If you're new to watching my videos and you want to see more, I do a new video every single day. So subscribe so you can get an email notification when that does go out. And of course, come back tomorrow. Another Farm Simulator video will be out for you tomorrow. Okay? Thanks again for watching, guys and gals. Until next time, I am Mr. Moose. Stay safe, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.